Alright, so right now we're putting the grounding lugs on the solar panels and taking them up to the deck so we can put them on the roof. So, put the bolt in there, and there's a serrated washer that's stainless steel. That's what it looks like. So there's a stainless steel washer there, and these are copper, and they're tin plated, so they won't corrode or anything like that. They're rated for solar panel use, and then they're lay-in grounding lugs. You put the copper wire in here. Is it number 8 wire you have to use, Dad?
Yes.
Okay, so those are the lugs, but they're fairly pricey. They're like $2 or $3 a piece.
Yeah, $2.50.
$2.50 a piece, so they're not cheap. But so yeah, we've got about half of them up on the deck so far. So yeah. Alright, there's 9 of them up here. So that's for one of the arrays of 9, which will be in parallel. So we already have the one array of 7 up there. So now we're going to put this array up. Alright, so before we put them up on the roof, I'm just testing the voltage here to make sure there's voltage, because we don't want to put it up there and install it and everything and then know that there's one that's bad. We find out that one is bad. So I'm just testing the voltage here. It's pretty good. And then I also test the ground too, just to make sure there's no short. So, yep. Alright, so here's our cheapy system of getting them up there. So it's basically just an old bed frame that I ripped all the fabric off of, and then we screwed some 2x4s up there. It's just kind of scrap lumber. And basically what we do is, I'm down here, my dad's up there, and I take one of the panels and push it up long ways, and once I get it up to about that high, I can lift it from the sides, and then it latches onto this part here, kind of hooks onto those 2 boards right there, and then I can switch to lifting from the bottom of the panel, and I can get it up to the end of those 2x4s, and then my dad can get it from there onto the roof. Alright, so we're putting the panels up on the roof here. We already got the array of 7 up over there yesterday, and this array of 9 up there, and we're working on the second row of 9, so almost done. So we're just gonna show you how we do it here. So we put our panel in here, and the wires are very long. They're like 3 feet at least, probably. How long do you think they are, Dad?
Yeah, 2 or 3 feet.
So what we do is they're already coiled up behind the panel. They came that way with some zip ties, so we're leaving every other one coiled. So let's see. This one is uncoiled, so we cut the zip ties on this one, and he's screwing in the bracket right now. So that end is in, and underneath where the aluminum contacts the treated lumber, we put a piece of pond liner, square of pond liner, because supposedly the stuff they treat the 2x4s with can corrode the aluminum. So we're taking extra precautions there. But so he's gonna put one in there. And these are 3-inch screws you're using, right?
2.5.
2.5. So, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. So, we should be able to start generating power today. But here's our grounding wire. Goes in the lugs there. And then, let's see if we can see. So this one here is coiled up. And then we still zip tie it. We zip tie about 2 zip ties every panel. And then this one here is not coiled up. So that's how we have them hooked up. So we're going to have about 500 volts for the 9 arrays, and then for the 7, it's probably going to be somewhere around 400 volts. So because each panel puts out about 55 volts, something like that, a maximum. So, yep. Alright, so my dad just cut those there about a 1/4 inch down, and he's going to chisel that out because we actually found that the end brackets stick down about a 1/4 inch too much, so they were made for a 1/4 inch thicker panels, but we're making do with what we have, so we don't really want to wait and go and buy different ones or whatever, so yep. But yeah, these are the end brackets. So yeah, this is the last panel we're putting in. And then our conduit's right there, with all our wires in it. There's a better view of the 7 panel array. So, just about all done. Alright, so we're putting in the second to last screw. So the ones that we're using on the end brackets, these are the screws, they're 2 inch. Here, we can use this one. And then the other screws, these are the 2.5 inches for the other ones that are in these. So they look like they've got a largish head. So, yep. And here's the last screw. And we are done. Now all we have to do is connect up the wires, and we should be able to start getting power. Probably clean them off a little bit too. There's sawdust and stuff on them too. But yeah. Alright, so all of our solar panels are up. So there's the 2 arrays of 9, and then there is the array of 7. My dad's putting black, or the electrician's goop in the end of the pipe to seal it up where the wires go in, or the conduit. Our conduit from these goes down here, and there's a T. So that goes down to the inverter. And yeah. So, looks pretty good. Got the grounding wire all in, and they're connected up. So now we gotta go down and measure the voltage, make sure there's right voltage and right polarity down there before we turn it on, and see if it works. So, yep. About the last shot of up on the roof here, so there's the panels. Alright, so here the conduit comes off the roof there, and it goes down to the inverter. So here we've got our 6 wires from our solar panels, all color-coded, and we've got our grounding wires there, 1 from each array, and then we'll go into the DC disconnect there, and into the inverter. The inverter's right under the overhang here, and it's waterproof anyway, or outdoor rated, so it should be good. The only concern possibly is I believe that LCD displays are not supposed to be in the sun, but I think it should be fine. So, because it doesn't get direct sun here, it's just going to get some sun later in the day, but it should be fine. So, and then here's our emergency power outlet all set up there, and the switch, and that conduit goes down under the deck for the AC output. So it looks pretty good. This conduit, I bent this all with the blowtorch. I found that to work really good, actually. So, actually natural gas Bunsen burner, not blowtorch. But you just have to be careful not to heat it up too much, or it will char. Like right here, it charred a little bit. Not much, but just yellowed a little bit. But you have to. It takes a while for the whole thing to heat up, because it takes a while for the heat to conduct through the thick plastic into the inner layers and make that soft before it'll actually start bending. So it takes a while for it to heat up. But other than that, I probably took a couple minutes to bend that, and it's cheap too, because the long sections of 10-foot pipe are fairly cheap compared to the elbows and connections and things. So yeah, there's a DC disconnect, and we just gotta hook up the wires, shorten them a little bit, and recolor code them, because I've got them all color coded which arrays they go to. Alright, so I have the conduit going to the DC disconnect all glued in, and my wires are all connected. As you can see, I have them all nicely color coded there and zip tied in there. So now we just gotta get the rest of the panels up there, and we will be good to start producing power. So, at least to that outlet, because it's not inspected yet, so. But yeah, so our green and white arrays are both, the green and white are both one array, so they're connected in parallel. They both have 9 panels each. And those are on channel A. Those are negatives. Here we have our positives for channel A, our green and white. And then, so 9 panels again. And then we have our other channel B panels, which those are both, which these are, that one array has 7 panels. So, yep, all connected up. Alright, so one last voltage test before we turn it on and see if the inverter works. So, got the voltmeter here, and let's check let's see, so this is the negative of the 9 panels. 460 volts there, so that's good. And these are both connected in parallel, but I'll check them both anyway. 460 volts. And then this is the 7 panels. 360, so looks good. So, and that makes sense too. So, yep, we've got power there. So, I think we're ready to, and it's in the right polarity, so I think we're ready to turn the inverter on and see what happens. Alright, so now we're going to turn it on for the first time. It's not doing anything yet. Do you think we need to turn the switch on? Nothing's happening.
There, the blue light blinks.
Oh, there we go. Shows we have voltage.
So one is 345 volts, 0 amps.
Yeah.
And the other is 436 volts. So we need to put a load on it.
Yep. I guess so.